You're listening to Cattywampus.
So, Corey.
So, David.
Splendid. We're gathered here today to discuss
The death of Jazz Jackrabbit.
Oh, yeah.
He died as he lived,
horribly.
jumping of an indeterminate height.
Jazz Jackrabbit is a DOS game that I played the ever-living crap out of when I was younger, and its sequel even more so.
What time did it come out? What year did it come out?
4 p.m.
The original, the original came out in '94
Okay.
for MS-DOS.
And just totally randomly for no related reason. When did Sonic come out?
That's a good question.
91? 92?
Wow, they're really late to the ripoff game.
Takes a while to pull those assets.
So, but that was on the Genesis, and only the Genesis, right?
Yeah, well, only Sega does what Nintendo.
Yeah,
Okay. So this was... Ooh.
Sega does what Nintendo
That was the
I know that was the
slogan.
tagline.
Don't look at me. I wasn't the marketing exec in 1989.
Hold on.
It's
So
not
if you
my
get up a
fault.
Genesis, it would literally say, Genesis, Sega does as Nintendo.
No, it's what the ads said. It was their marketing campaign for
No,
the Sega
Sega's
Genesis
always
in
started up
America.
with that Sega
nonsense.
nonsense.
Or if you're not in America, the Genesis was called the
Master System.
Master System.
Okay, so I never had a Sega Genesis. So this was my platform.
It was pretty dope.
Really?
I didn't have one either.
So
I was
Had
Nintendo.
those 3 sweet buttons, A, B, and C.
I didn't have the first Nintendo. I missed the boat, but I did get the Genesis.
Okay, and how much did this thing sell for? I'm just trying to
A
figure out
Sega Genesis?
Why didn't I have one? Was it?
It was a few hundred, I think.
It was, it was,
Well, that's probably why then, because we already had PCs.
It was probably priced competitively with the Nintendo, and then the
They
Super
were all probably around
Nintendo.
$200, $300, $400.
$200 to
something like
$300,
that.
Yeah.
I think. Because I believe the Super Nintendo was like $250, $300.
Now, if you wanted to get the Sega Master CD,
Ooh, the Sega CD.
Sega CD,
I don't
Sega
even remember
Saturn.
how much that add-on was.
I was
But
never.
Steve, Scully and Mulder are there for real in the X-Files game.
Oof.
I've never been a.
Get that Sega 32X.
I've never been a Sega fan. Like I just don't. I can't think of anything Sega's done specifically that I love.
Allow blood in Mortal Kombat when Nintendo wouldn't.
That's true.
So no wonder I didn't have one. So they cost $189 at launch.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, except
But
that's
that's adjusted for
$400. $400
Yeah.
adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
So
How much did the Super Nintendo cost? Because that was Nintendo's attempt to combat the Sega Genesis.
let me see.
I didn't realize the Genesis came out before the Super Nintendo.
It did, and that's why Nintendo did the Super Nintendo.
Right,
Basically
they were
why
the first 16.
Interesting. So it launched at $199.
It's that Mario tax.
I mean,
And I'm
For
assuming.
$412 in today's dollars, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming it also sold a lot better.
that is
it did. I think they were about neck and neck for a while.
I believe the Genesis did sell very well.
The problem that Sega had nothing to do with the Genesis. It's just that when the next generation after that,
Dreamcast.
they were just like, let's put out the Sega Saturn. And the Sega Saturn was not near as powerful as either the N64 or the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no games.
Yeah.
X-Files, the
mean,
game.
and
Wing
so-
Commander.
so Troy-
It had knights in
Wing,
that game.
Wing
So Troy-
Commander with Mark Hamill in it.
and that's probably why I didn't get one.
Which one? The Saturn?
Either one. The
Saturn was
Genesis
expansive.
These are all really expensive. Like, oh yeah, only $200.
Well,
you
now,
and me
yeah.
as modern adults with modern income.
Well, I mean,
that
to be
seems
fair,
so
that
small,
that
but-
number was meaningless when they came out to me because I was 4.
Right.
So,
We were children.
whatever.
Oh, yeah, no. When the N64 came out, I was just like,
You could've
money
told-
is meaningless.
You could have
Just
told
get
me
it anyway.
You could have told me it cost $11 billion, and wouldn't it be the same to me as 200? And that both were unattainable to a 6-year-old David. David could not.
Santa will provide.
I got a Genesis for my birthday. It was good. It wasn't at launch though. It had to be like.
This system was out for a while.
Yeah, I got it.
A really long while.
My first game was the Jurassic Park game, so it had to be after 1993.
I have no time frame of when I got what. I just remember always having the Nintendo. It might have been my brother's, I don't know. And then the Super Nintendo, I know we got at like Toys R Us or whatever because I was really excited about it. But I have no idea when. I don't know if it was new, old. I just have no idea. I was so young.
It was last week.
The Genesis had a 9-year lifespan.
You should always have your laptop so I don't have to lean over anymore.
Yeah, and then
By the way, this is great.
Oh, because that's when I started actually knowing release dates. Because I got
Yeah.
magazines and I had release dates and
Electronic
demo
Gamers
discs
Monthly.
and Electronic Gaming Monthly 2.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there was an EGM 2.
Wow.
So
all
had-
the stuff
Can
they
you
couldn't
imagine
cover.
that the publishing industry at one
Was
point
that-
could support not one but two? Why didn't they just make it? Why didn't they just make EGM publish more regularly?
Don't know. But I had both of them.
Hold on, is it because they had subscriptions? Because there used to be a thing. I used to have magazine subscriptions. You paid a flat rate every month.
I
You get
still do.
one
That's how
article.
I
They
get
still
paid.
exist.
But if you double your account and then double the price of the subscription, that's a no. But now I've got 2 services, so those people that really want that
Right. No, I
Oh.
mean, back in the day, what was it? It was
that
GamePro,
makes sense.
EGM,
$20.
EGM2,
GamePro was
PSM, PSX,
PlayStation Magazine, like official PlayStation Magazine.
Yep.
That was one of my favorites.
PC
Nintendo
Gamer.
Power.
PC
Game
Gamer.
Informer.
PC Gamer still publishes.
Yeah,
I know.
PC
Oh, Game
I'm surprised.
Pro. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said,
Yeah.
GamePro.
You said GamePro, yeah. Wizard Magazine, where every month they tell you that Howie Lawn should play a different superhero in their fantasy casting system.
God.
It was Howie Lawn could be anybody, and then Glenn Danzig had to be Wolverine.
Yep. I remember that argument. That was an awful argument.
Because Glenn Danzig was short and wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad that did not happen.
And Harry Connick Jr. was Gambit, which was not a bad idea, actually.
I mean, during the 90s, no.
When you think about him in Independence Day, that's not a terrible idea.
So yeah, I never had a Genesis. Did you guys have Genesis?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you did, but
Oh,
I
sorry.
was a privileged child. I had a Super Nintendo and a Genesis.
I
Wow.
eventually got there. I did get a
And
Super
then
Nintendo and a Genesis.
the year the N64, or the year that the PlayStation came, or the year after the PlayStation came out, the same year I got the N64, my sister got a PlayStation because
There you go.
we didn't know how to share.
I was a Nintendo guy until the PlayStation 1 came out.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
And
you're still a
then-
Nintendo guy. You own a Switch.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, so
we all own
that's
a
what I was
Switch.
gonna that's what I was gonna say is so
Which, speaking
I-
of, really off topic, but did anybody see that awesome new Animal Crossing Switch they're putting out?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking gorgeous. I don't even like Animal Crossing, but I want that Switch.
I didn't see this.
I had a
The theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Describe it, Steve. Omit no detail.
I had a
Google
Nintendo
image
and a
search.
Super Nintendo, and then eventually we got a PlayStation, and then I didn't own another Nintendo console until the Switch. So I never.
So you didn't own the Nintendo 64?
Never. No. I
Or the
rented.
Wii.
I rented a N64.
Mm-hmm.
I now have a Wii because my
Perfect.
uncle was gonna throw it away.
I was about to say, you had access to one for a
Yeah.
for
Well,
quite a while.
I had friends that had.
That's true,
those
too. I
systems.
technically never owned a Wii, but when it came out, my roommate in college had it.
Yeah.
I never owned a PlayStation. And then the first system I bought with, like, my own money was a PlayStation 2.
I think the first system I bought with my own money was the original Xbox.
Never had the Xbox.
Game Boy Color. Worked all summer for it.
Nice.
I feel like I had a Game Boy and a Game Boy Color, and that's where
Yeah,
I
I
stopped.
always had Game Boys, which was, now that I
I-
think about it, that was weird. I always had one of
I
those.
did have the Sega Game Gear.
I did too.
How many
that
batteries
the,
did you go through?
All of them.
Literally, I kept, like, a backpack of batteries on road trips.
I had a battery pack. I had one of the nickel metal battery packs that weighed like 40 pounds. That you literally, the only way it would anchor is it snapped into the bottom of the Game Gear
I remember
and
this.
it screwed into the back.
So you hooked up a car battery to your portable game
Basically,
system?
yes.
You remember the
Put up a defibrillator.
you remember the thing I had for my Game Boy, right? I think I showed it to you. It was I cannot remember the name of it, but you know how the original Game Boy had like insane accessories.
Yeah, there was, like, a magnifying
So-
Oh,
screen.
yeah. You
There
had
was
the one with the speakers.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
so
yeah.
this was
the
a-
link cable light. It's because there's no backlight.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
So
it was
the-
like a reading light.
Yes,
thing that
that's
I
exactly
had-
what it was.
Yeah, worm lights, dude. You used to plug them into the auxiliary port on it,
Yeah.
and it would just shine a light on the screen.
And it would kill your batteries 3
Oh,
times
you-
faster.
How
Ruined.
disappointed must parents be? They walk by, are you reading? No.
But the
the
thing
only
no.
reason that
Hell no.
existed so you could play your Game Boy after you were supposed to be asleep.
the thing that I had
mean,
was
yeah.
literally it was like a dock for the Game Boy, and you put your Game Boy inside of it, and it had speakers, it had a joystick and buttons, it had a magnifying
Yep.
glass.
I know what you're talking about.
And
it had lights under the magnifying glass too.
Yeah,
Yep.
it turned your Game Boy into a little arcade
into a
cabinet.
game man.
Yeah, it was.
Please tell me it was called the Game Man. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh my!
I
Did it come with auxiliary power though?
No. Wait, no.
I think it ran on batteries. It ran on
It did.
AAAs.
Nintendo
It
brand
ran.
car
I think
battery.
it ran on D-cell because of how big it
D-cells.
was.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you had the speakers, you had the lights. It had to power all of that. So I'm pretty positive it was D-cell.
Yeah, the Game Gear was AA's. And
ran
it
on
just,
4 9-volts.
You just had to go through all of them. And I played the Lion King game, the Power Rangers game.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I still have a copy of Batman Forever sitting at my house for Game
So
Gear.
I
Just
will
the
say,
game?
Yep.
Do you have a Game Gear?
Hell no. I don't know why I still have this copy.
How do we
of Batman
play it?
Forever.
I still have a copy of Dragon Quest 3 for the Game Boy Color. It's just in my closet. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I just never knew what to do with
I'm
it.
just curious, both of you, particularly you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So you've moved a lot. So you pack that thing up.
Yep. It's in my closet.
Yeah, it goes with you, man.
So yeah, I finally got a Genesis.
What game did you play?
Sonic. I'd always wanted to play it. I played it once when I was, like 6 or 7. I was visiting with my nephew.
I fucking loved Sonic and Sonic 2, man. They're terrible, but I loved them.
Sonic and Knuckles is the only one I actually kind of liked.
Well, then you could have just thrown Sonic 2 on top of that
Right.
and played Sonic 2 with Knuckles.
Yeah.
They're really fast. Like the game is fast, and the levels are built around you going fast. And
I disagree. I disagree. The
Would you
levels
say
are
it was
built
almost a
around-
requirement to go fast? Like you gotta go fast.
Yes.
Do you have to go fast?
Yes, exactly what
You
I was
know
thinking.
Sonic's famous catchphrase, I must go fast.
Acceleration is my desire.
Time
I
to
must
accelerate.
I must increase my rate of speed.
No, but I'm playing this, and this is important because even though, some of the levels have like really
They are
weird...
designed to stop you from
there are-
going fast.
There are parts where you have to stop, and there are parts where you can go fast. And this is important because I grew up on Jazz, a game that also encourages speed.
He's referring to Jazz Jackrabbit,
shooting.
not the art form jazz.
Oh, no.
Not the
I can't
musical
play
art
jazz. Let's be clear. I cannot play
I grew
that.
up on Miles Davis.
But those levels
John
encourage you
Coltrane.
to go fast with a timer that will actually hit you with one of your lives if it
Mm-hmm.
runs out. And they give you a little blaster gun thing to shoot things that make you lose health, which is the big differentiating factor here. Because that's about where the similarities
Yeah,
end.
that's why you play Shadow the Hedgehog.
I felt
You're
like
going fast. The levels are clearly ripping off the level design of Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah.
it felt like somebody played
He
Sonic.
says words like "damn."
It feels like somebody played Sonic and Contra and was like, we could maybe just put these two together real quick.
Synergy! Yeah.
It also reminded me, because he's a Jackrabbit, I kind of look at him and go, so you, like, saw Bucky O'Hare once, right? Like,
Yeah.
I loved this game when I was young.
I loved Bucky O'Hare.
I loved lots of stupid shit when I was young. It's fine.
we've predicated a whole podcast around it.
I'm pretty sure.
That's
I think
true.
we still like stupid shit sometimes.
More than sometimes.
I do think Jazz Jackrabbit having a gun is very counterintuitive to the rest of the game.
I mean, you can shoot some pickups to pick them up faster.
I was playing it like it was Contra for the first few minutes, and then I realized that you could run like Sonic, and then I was confused as to what I was supposed to actually do in that game.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's like a T-1000 simulator.
So the second game's actually a lot better, but it's still the same formula. It has a level editor, which I spent way too much time on.
If I play the second one, will I be lost by its complex narrative if I haven't played the first one?
No.
Is this a Metal Gear situation where apparently a bunch of important shit happened
There
in
is
those
a 10-second
non-solid games?
a 10-second intro cinematic when you fire up the sequel that just 10 seconds, and you're brought up to speed. There is no major... Yeah, that's about the complexity.
I'm actually impressed that it goes to the effort to give you 10 seconds of recap of the
previously
first game. Previously on
Jazz Jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit.
You tried to defeat bad guy. Bad guy got away. Now bad guy's coming back to make things worse. Oh, no.
It happened again.
Is the second
And
game?
that's
Fuck,
the
it's
recap.
Palpatine all over
Is
again.
the second game still a ripoff of Sonic?
No, it's its own thing. They changed the gameplay formula. It's not about
I mean,
speed. It's
he does have a sidekick named Buckles, though.
No, it's more of a puzzle platformer. The second one, the first one just feels like a mashup, and there's so little
My
screen
friend
real estate.
Nails.
Yeah.
You can't see
this
where
is
you're
my
going.
friend Feet. He is a wolf with 2 feet.
Shadow Jackrabbit.
No, he has a brother named Spaz who could be player 2 on the co-op mode. Spaz.
Like Tails.
And he's red.
I mean, I guess Sonic and Tails aren't brothers.
No, they're basically brothers. It's
mean,
kind of
they're
like
brother-
Fast and the Furious. It's all
That's
about
right.
family.
That's right. Blood is not family, or whatever the tagline to Furious 9 F9 is.
I don't know.
Did anybody see that trailer?
Yes, I did.
Did you
actually.
see the end of the trailer?
Yep.
I'm so fucking excited.
There's a Furious 9 coming?
Yeah, it's
Yep,
coming out this
the
summer.
trailer dropped
yesterday.
yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go back and watch the movies now, just so I can watch. Because the end of that trailer, I was just like, "What in the actual shit?"
A very long dead character returns to the point where the tagline is then revealed, which references the meme to bring that person back.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of
Who's been missing since Tokyo Drift?
Well, not since Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, I
but-
thought it was Tokyo
Well,
Drift.
okay, so
Okay, the movie was
forget it.
after.
So Han, it's Han Solo, like Han.
the guy that died in Tokyo Drift.
Yes, but
Yeah.
he's in 4, 5, and 6 because those take place before. Jason Statham is the one who killed him in Tokyo Drift,
Yeah.
and he's the villain. And everybody did not like that Han died, and it was called the tagline or the meme was "Justice for Han," and it kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And everybody thought the voice on the phone in Hobbs and Shaw was going to be Han, and it wasn't. And then the end of this trailer, Han just walks out, and it says what "Justice is coming" is
Yeah.
the tagline. And Han's like, I'm alive, eating sunflower seeds. And even I was like, yes! Like, I don't care about this franchise at all. But I was like, Han is back!
Yeah, I still haven't seen 5, 6,
Also-
7.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I have.
I own-
You're
them.
missing the best ones.
I own those movies. I still.
And I mean the most fun. They're the most fun. 5, 6, and 7 are the fun. But also, not only is that character from Fast and the Furious, that is a character ported over from Justin Lin's first feature, an indie film. That's the same actor, and his name is Han, and he's a gangster. And then he just put him in Tokyo Drift, and I guess no one noticed. It's a different studio.
Huh.
Yeah. And then I think it's the 5th or 6th one where they reveal his last name is Solo. And then he was the one who was in love with Gal Gadot's character, who had to die because she was Wonder Woman now. So she couldn't stay in this franchise and do both.
Was she in like 5 and 6 or something?
She's in 4, 5, and 6.
I don't remember 4 at all. We
4's
saw it-
awful.
We
Yeah,
saw it in
we
theaters.
saw
I
4.
hated it. That's why I stopped.
Don't need it.
It was awful.
5, 6, 7. There's your Fast and the Furious trilogy. And now 9. Also 9 is the return of Justin Lin. The director is coming back, who did Star Trek Beyond, Fast and the Furious 3 through 6.
Ben Diesel is still in all of these, right?
Oh, yeah, he's the
Okay.
star.
That's,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
that's what I thought.
Well, he's evil. It turns out he has a brother that's evil, and it's John Cena.
Fuck.
Yep. He has an evil younger brother played by John Cena,
Oh, they're so good. I can't wait.
and you've got Charlize Theron in it with.
She's back. She was the villain in
She
the
literally has Doofus Rick's hair from Rick and Morty.
Well, she notoriously had terrible hair. The 8th one, she had kind of fake dreads.
Yep. But this is somehow so much worse.
Yeah, it's great.
The haircut, she either looks like Simple
we're
Jack
gonna-
from Tropic Thunder.
So
We're gonna table this because we will do a Fast and the Furious episode.
All right, we're gonna have to do one now.
Anyway, Jazz Jackrabbit. Question: did it ever go to any console, or was it only
Yeah,
PC?
it was actually, I think it was brought to Game Boy Color,
Okay,
and it came to Mac, actually.
so I could play it.
That's a little
Actually,
weird.
Apparently you can. I thought
Not
you
if
couldn't.
you're on Catalina.
Shows you what I know.
I'm telling
and-
you right now, that's a 32-bit app.
And I have a
That
response.
it's got to be right.
Something else I found. Apparently the inspiration wasn't Sonic. It was Zool.
The villain of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's what
No,
I was
it's
gonna
a
say.
game. It's an Amiga game.
there
called
is
Zool.
no Jackrabbit, only
only
Zool.
Zool.
And then inspired by Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog. What is this?
Yeah, the villain from Ghostbusters.
No, it's not. It's a game. Ninjas of the Nth Dimension.
When someone asks if you're a Jackrabbit, you say yes.
So I got mad because I was playing Sonic and I realized I got into one of those like speed pipes. I was like, hold on. Because Jazz Jackrabbit's got a lot of those speed
They're called
pipes.
fast pipes.
Yeah. They're called the Gotta Go pipe.
Gotta go blue, blue,
Sorry,
blue,
they're
blue,
not
blue,
speed
blue.
pipes. They're fast cylinders. It's very different. I feel like the guy who created Jazz Jackrabbit explaining it is like when Vanilla Ice had to explain how his riff was installed.
That would be Cliff Blazinski, who later became I think he was the CEO of Epic for
Wait.
a while.
Cliffy B made this?
Yeah.
Yes, this is his
It
brainchild.
was his first game.
Oh, well,
So
that
for-
kind of explains everything about Cliffy B I needed to know. up
So
until
obviously,
now.
I definitely know who that is. But for people in the audience who might not, and maybe David,
It's the
who's-
guy who created Gears of War.
oh, and he is currently doing what?
He's also
Nothing.
He made Gears of War. like the
Uh-huh.
franchise.
He was also a big deal on
And-
Unreal Tournament.
He's
Well,
a big
so-
wheel in the Cracker Factory.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
the,
he was a big wheel.
he was.
But he's in charge of Epic Games?
No, he was. And he was the
Was.
lead designer on Unreal Tournament. So
Okay.
he helped pioneer the engine.
And currently he is...
Nothing.
Apparently, he's in his post-gaming career as of last year, or 2018.
But what's he doing?
He invested and co-founded Hadestown.
Probably Hades Town.
Hadestown?
I'm just taking a guess that that's not Hades
It's
Town.
a Broadway. It's a Broadway production.
I mean, it
Sounds about as plausible as anything else.
could be very lucrative.
It's about a Greek myth apparently. So he's
Yeah, definitely
he's
Hades
doing
Town.
that. He's doing theater production now. So talk about
Would that would be ironic though if he's like making games and he's like, yeah, but my real love is the stage.
Yeah.
no, but that's
One
what
day
he's,
I'll get to
Yeah.
Broadway.
no, but that's what he's doing now.
It's great.
Well, I mean, he basically, I would assume he can't make games anymore
And we
Why?
can't.
because of
I mean, he
lawbreakers.
probably
That-
still has enough capital.
I'm gonna
where
take a
he
wild
could.
stab and guess he's white and therefore can only fail up.
I'm just gonna show
That,
you a
that
picture.
game was
Oh, yeah.
a.
There you go.
That game was a.
He's whiter than I thought he was going to be.
Yes.
Boy.
Does he have that little like white shell necklace on in that picture?
The
puka
puka
shell? Yeah,
a
does he
puka
have-
shell
Yeah.
necklace.
Yeah, that was as recently as 2006. So
Oh man, I was really hoping you were gonna be like, of course he has a puka shell necklace. This photo's from 2000, but 2006 is cutting it.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it looks like in 2012 he finally lost it, but
Okay.
He lost it. It was separated from him surgically.
But he did Gears of War 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then for some reason
Those are pretty good.
he didn't do 3, right?
no. I think
Yeah.
he had already left Epic by that time.
Yeah, for some reason he was just like, anyway, that was my idea. I'm out. And then he was like, I'm going to make a new game. It's going to be even better. And for years he was teasing this Lawbreakers game.
it really
Yeah.
looks like he just tried to redo the magic of the first Unreal Tournament because that was a really big hit when it launched. It was a big hit. It inspired an entire genre of gaming.
What made Lawbreaker so
It
unsuccessful?
was
Essentially-
Overwatch, but bad.
It was Overwatch
Published
except,
by Nexon.
yeah.
So
Oh no, not. Oh,
okay,
Help.
they're known for their free-to-play, pay-to-win games.
Yeah.
freemium.
Yeah,
Very freemium.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Well,
and
that's
most
the
of
best-
what they've published has been just hot shit and pay to win.
One of the biggest problems with Lawbreakers is when they first announced it, they said it was going to be free. And
Yeah, and then
they were like, "Wait, it's not free. It's $60." And then I can't
then
remember
it
the
came down to like 30.
Well, it was like some big switch around where they're like, "This is 100% free. Never mind, it's 60.
This
never mind, it's 30."
Can't
Wait,
be 100%.
it's
This game
free.
lived for 13 months after release. The servers were shut down.
had Overwatch not come out, Lawbreakers still probably wouldn't
Probably
have done
would've
much
failed.
better.
Yeah, the Metacritic
But-
reviews and it didn't do hot. It was about a 7 out of 10.
It was supposed to be like really advanced, fun, weird gunplay.
It's not stupid. It's advanced.
Yeah, well, no, it was shit like you can shoot behind you and you can shoot.
And it was a lot of
Like, you
How
could
gravity.
does that work?
You would like basically you'd throw your gun over your shoulder and just shoot behind you if you knew somebody was behind you.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
I don't.
it didn't.
You don't-
it
didn't work well.
That's
Yeah,
the
I was-
problem.
that
And there was
seem-
like there was a lot of like gravity play. So like some of the maps you could like different
Yeah, there was, like,
different
zero
levels
G.
would have 0G and
So-
Brian, there's something very sexually charged about you saying the phrase gravity play.
yeah.
There's a lot of gravity play.
Well, I got to build a vacuum chamber. Excuse me.
so Cliffy B was
Such a
basic-
weird phrase.
Cliffy B was like the head honcho at Epic for a minute. Before he was CEO, he was basically the
Was
game
his
director.
tenure at Epic well received?
For the most part.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, he did well.
I mean, Gears was his baby, and that's between that and the fact that the Unreal Engine is still one of the most prolific
Right.
engines on the planet.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he
Right,
did
right,
well.
right. Okay.
And he definitely had an effect on the industry as a whole.
So when can we expect Jazz Jackrabbit 3? Would this
don't.
be
I've been waiting for it since I was 10. Don't
this,
do that
well,
to me.
maybe after his Broadway run, after he wins his Tony.
So they
Maybe
apparently
he'll
He's trying to create a new version of EGOTing where he's trying to get a game award, a Tony.
Yeah.
So, no,
What,
actually,
what
okay.
about Jazz Jackrabbit on Broadway?
Oh dear God, why?
Quickly into the speed pipe.
No, really though. They had a alpha or something,
Yeah.
maybe that was air quotes leaked. And I checked it out, and it's rough. It's Unreal Engine 1, so maybe it's actually something they were working on.
Right.
You know,
But it went
Unreal,
vaporware because Unreal led to Unreal Tournament, and then they're
Also-
like, "Oh, we're done a single player like only games."
Also,
We're
real
doing
quick, Jazz
multiplayer."
Jackrabbit on Broadway would definitely not be the Sondheim parody I did. It would definitely be like an ill-considered Hamilton riff.
So Corey, you know,
Yeah, probably.
Corey, you
Lot of
know
rap.
Unreal. So why don't you just make Jazz Jackrabbit 3? Take another game you like and just reuse assets and make yourself a game.
Pretty sure that's
Just
an
make a
IP
skin in
infringement.
Minecraft.
Yeah, Simpsons Road
and that's
Rage.
it.
There you go.
I think a few people have done that.
Or you could take Gears of War and just replace the characters with Jazz Jackrabbit.
You know what? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe.
Were you?
Hold on.
Did you
No.
hesitate on characters because you couldn't remember the main character?
Marcus Phoenix. And,
See, I couldn't. I thought about it as
for
soon
a
as you said
second, I was
characters.
like-
I was like, "What the fuck is
No,
that
hold
guy's
on.
name?"
Brian, you've inspired me because I got into modding with Unreal Engine. I got into
You've
modding.
inspired me to steal.
I'm going to go into Gears of War.
Well, so what I'm saying
and
is-
I'm going to superimpose a Jazz Jackrabbit mesh in Phoenix's
When you
place.
say
mean-
And I'm going to replace the chainsaw
that makes
gun
me think
with
like-
a blue blaster.
That makes me think like when you say superimpose, there's even like MS Paint. You've just like slapped Jazz Jackrabbit on top of Gears of War.
It'll look about that good because I can't model for shit.
It's just an unmoving,
I mean,
two-dimensional model.
It kind of makes sense, though, because you could essentially do what Cliffy B did. Just
I
take,
know.
take a game you like,
Karma.
replace it with whatever the fuck you want, and then call it Jazz Jackrabbit.
You should definitely give Jazz Jackrabbit puka shells.
Hold on, though. Is this actually a
To show
problem?
him
Is this actually a
time
problem
has
if I'm modifying an epic game with epic game content from a different game? Would this actually be a problem? I don't think it would.
Yeah,
could
because
also-
because if I cut together 2 Disney movies and release them as my own, that's still a problem. It's still
Modifications are released under fair use, so it would be fine.
So how did Jazz Jackrabbit make it as far as being a paid game if it was a ripoff of Sonic?
I mean, you want to know how much it made?
Sega was
Sonic-
just like, this is such shit that we're not really
one's gonna play
concerned.
this.
because
I mean,
Sonic's got a gun now, and that's why it's cool.
You could
First
also-
game, there was a shareware floppy disk you could get or download from the internet.
Don't
which was cool.
copy. Don't copy
and then,
that floppy.
Yeah, there was a Jazz 2 demo where on Web 1.0 as we know it, like everybody's starting to get online. And you could actually buy that in a store, or you could send them a mail order and they'd give you a disc. And if you included an extra $10, they'd send you a T-shirt. It still shows you that when you exit the game. I'm wondering if I could actually like pay
Do you
for that
have the
T-shirt.
Do
T-shirt?
it. Get the
No,
T-shirt.
but I'm really wondering because it's like 20 years old, right?
Right,
20 plus
right.
years old, 25 years old. I'm wondering if I actually send a
Surely
money
they
order to
didn't
them
sell all the T-shirts.
for $9.95 or whatever the standalone price is. If they'll actually mail me back my T-shirt that I wanted so bad when I was a kid,
Absolutely not.
I bet you they will. You know, there's only one way to find out, guys.
Do it.
He just sends you a link to Busted
They're going to
Tees.
send you a T-shirt and a picture of Cliffy B and a puka shell necklace.
No.
And it's going to be fucking signed.
No, I think what they'll do is they'll just send the Gears of
All
War
the
shirt.
best.
They send
Mahalo.
they send you a Sonic T-shirt, and you're like,
It's just a Sonic T-shirt with literally a picture taped.
But it's not
over
even
Sonic.
It's not even officially Sonic. It's like a bunch of DeviantArt Sonic designs.
It's Gary the Hedgehog.
Ooh, that's DeviantArt, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Are
Cold
you
Steel the
not
Hedgehog.
familiar with?
Oh,
the
I'm familiar.
DeviantArt subculture of Sonics.
Have you ever Googled your name plus the Hedgehog before?
I only know one thing about DeviantArt.
I don't even want to think about
R34,
Corey the Hedgehog.
period. You're going to find it everywhere, whether or not you want it.
It's probably
Oh,
not
yeah.
great. David the Hedgehog's probably interesting though.
Let's find out.
Oh boy, we're going in. We're going
You doing
into
it?
the deep
You doing it,
webs.
Brian? You getting Brian the Hedgehog?
Brian the Hedgehog looks pretty sick.
What's Brian the Hedgehog look like?
I'm not mad about it.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
I like your neon green sneaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, Google's auto-completing my name with the hedgehog.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God,
Hey,
why?
David the Hedgehog's doing all right too. Similar
Hey,
shoes.
we're basically the same person.
We're basically.
I mean, I can't lie. I look like a beast.
I think
What is this shit?
Yeah.
that's because you play Jazz Jackrabbit.
Here's another. This David the Hedgehog has a badass scarf. Look at my scarf action. Look at that. That's like Oscar
This is-
Isaac in Rise of Skywalker right there.
I regret
Corey,
everything
look
about
at my
this.
badass scarf.
That actually looks kind of cool. Why?
Yeah, I go on adventures, dude.
When does that Sonic movie come out?
The 14th.
Oh.
It's a Valentine's gift to the world.
Yeah.
My wife would divorce me if I took her to Sonic. What if the post-credit sequence, which I'm sure will be Tails or Knuckles or something stupid, was Jazz Jackrabbit?
Just pointing his blaster at Sonic.
You stole my life.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Listen up, soldier. You've just been recruited. Because I assume Jazz Jackrabbit has like a grizzled voice, right?
No,
He's a hardened
he
warg.
sounds a little bit like Bugs Bunny.
So we're stealing that too, aren't we?
That's not right.
No, we're being inspired by it, David.
Hopefully, the end of the movie is just Mario showing up with an eye patch saying, "I'd like to recruit you for the Smash Brothers initiative."
Man, I love intellectual property inspiration.
No, it seems like this is a thing across the entire video game industry. I started here.
It's a thing across most industries.
Yeah.
I forked out and I realized, Epic really does. They do not come up with original ideas at all, which is a letdown. They were my number one developer, for a long time.
You mean Gears of
Fortnite was
War
basically
is the
Left 4
original?
Dead with building, and that building was clearly Minecraft. So hold on.
I mean, Gears of War.
Now
was...
PUBG using the Unreal Engine has this great thing where we're going to mod Arma and make a battle royale type game. The first major one that I know of, it might be the first. And then while they Project Bluehole or whatever their
I'm sorry,
freaking
what
name is,
It's called Blue Hole.
Talking about Blue Point games.
I thought it
Project
was
Blue Hole?
Blue Hole does sound familiar.
it's
Actually,
Bluehole.
That you can't.
It's
no.
Blue Hole.
You got to pick something new.
There's Team Bluehole in Korea for some
No,
reason.
Team
no,
Blue Hole.
change the name.
They
If
actually.
I worked at Epic Games, I would be calling a meeting immediately if I saw that name on a document.
I
I'd
mean,
be
it's
like,
better than
absolutely
Brown
not.
Hole.
Yeah, Project Brown Hole,
Better's not good enough.
Project Brown Eye.
Bluehole develops PUBG from a mod to a standalone game on the Unreal Engine. They request optimizations to the code because the game is really laggy. So Epic delivers these optimizations, simultaneously launching Fortnite Battle Royale, which we all know as Fortnite. That's technically an attack on to their failed single-player / co-op game, which was a Left 4 Dead Minecraft ripoff.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the name Blue Hole. I know you just said a lot of words, but
They're
I'm
called
stuck.
Blue Hole.
I'm stuck at Blue. I'm sorry. I know you went further down the road. I'm still there though.
I'm coming back for you.
I just got to tell you, I jumped out of the car and I was like, I got to look around.
Blue Hole.
It's a Korean company.
Got to look around at all the Blue Hole.
I understand it's a Korean company. Then maybe the name should be in Korean and not Blue Hole.
Do you want me to see what it is?
What is
in
the word
Korean?
blue in Korean?
Polen.
That's better.
That's blue. Hold on. Now let's see. Blue.
Let's put it together.
Are we about done on
We're
this?
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, this
We're down the jackrabbit hole.
The Jackrabbit
It
hole.
sounds like Blue Hole.
Rabbit hole would be
Does
better.
it really? Hold on.
So it's
Blue
just
hole.
phonetic.
Yeah.
So they took the way you enunciate it in Korean and just said that's how you say it in English.
What is a blue hole in Korean? Is that like pool?
That's literally what he was just translating.
No, but I mean, like, what is the?
It's a-
what
it's
does
a
it
water
mean?
slide.
Like, what is it? It's a water slide. It's those tubes on a water slide. That is the terrible name. You know, like
At that point, you should
Oh.
just change the name. What?
No. Okay, so it's a thing. It's a sinkhole underwater in the ocean. Instead of just looking through a few meters of water, you're looking down hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
feet of water, and it looks really dark. So it looks like a blue hole.
tattoo your asshole blue
Yeah.
ink.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong.
Give
But
yourself
I
an
do
enema.
not-
Blue water.
Blue hole.
I
mean,
didn't come up with this
close
company.
to-
Any blue water you put in your asshole is going to be real dark colored when it comes out. Let's be fair.
Unless you already did an enema beforehand.
That's true. But I'm not looking down hundreds of meters of asshole.
So anyway.
There's a way to connect hundreds of meters of asshole and gravity play, and I'm gonna figure it out in my head.
Human centipede.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out that sexual
Human
joke in my
centipede
head.
in space.
In space. No one can hear you. So,
But so Epic Games, when you were saying that they don't have original ideas. So,
I mean, blue hole.
No, but that's different.
They've inspired ideas, though, not good ones.
But what
Blue
I'm
Hole's
today.
independent from Epic.
But
okay?
what I'm
Oh wait,
saying
what does
is,
blue hole do?
So Blue Hole's a game developer company in Korea.
Okay.
They licensed the Unreal Engine to
Okay.
release PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which
Right.
used the Unreal Engine.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Blue Hole sends an email to Epic saying, "Hey, we're
Fix
working
it.
on a game that has 99 players at once. Can you fix your netcode because it's crap?" And Epic says, "Okay, sure, we'll do that." And also, we're releasing our own Battle Royale. Blue Hole
Right.
sues. Epic says, "You really want to do that? We hold your license." Blue Hole backs off. I am not even joking. This happened. This
I'm
happened
sure.
when Fortnite Battle Royale was
Yeah, I
gaining
remember
momentum.
this.
Yeah.
Season 1. It was a big deal. So they back off.
So you're saying blue hole caved?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And
Sorry,
there's-
I meant prolapsed.
Well, that's a reverse cave. That's a cave out.
Well, there's gravity. I mean, not if you're
tell
doing
me.
gravity play.
Would that at that point would that be blue socking it?
So yeah, that's Epic Games. That's my opinion on them.
I admire your ability to power through.
You got to be willing to power through with the blue hole prolapses.
Like clearly the game.
This has not been.
The game has such appeal that you guys all played it.
Yeah.
I'll give credit. You all did that Unreal LAN over a year ago and powered through half the game. And we've all played Gears of War in some combination.
I have played all of the Gears of War.
Did you play Gears of War Judgment?
No. I've played all the numbered entries. I don't need any of your non-numbered entries.
Some of the numbered entries aren't worth it either.
Yeah, I didn't finish 4. This is a whole separate topic, but I cannot abide this nonsense of we number our games, but then there's other games that we don't number in the same series. You can go to hell with that.
I think Dragon Age did
Kingdom
that too.
Hearts would be a struggle for you.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is all numbered, but the numbers are stupid. No, it was more like we were talking about like Metal Gear, where apparently there's another game that beyond 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that's in there.
Peace Walker.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Plus Metal Gear 1 and 2 are technically.
Well,
part
at
of
least
the
that's
canon.
a different series, and I'll be like, okay.
But it's
if-
really not, though. That's the problem.
Yes, well, there is that.
And that confusion is also part of the problem.
Jazz Jackrabbit,
Dragon Age
solid.
2, Dragon Age Inquisition.
The Fast and the Furious also does this, but the Fast and the Furious gets a pass because they've decided that they will never name the same 2 movies the same way. They just change it every time. Yeah, The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Furious 6, Fast and Furious 7, Fate with 8 in the
Oh, dear God.
of the Furious, and then F9. Fuck you. And then the Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
But that's a spin-off.
It doesn't. That's like
Or was it a spin-out?
the spin out. Well, with gravity play, and,
Yeah, with gravity.
you could go anywhere,
Fast prolapse.
right for the blue hole.
You tried to drift, but you're not fast or furious
You
enough.
tried to drift, but you escaped from the excessive.
Why are you
G-force.
like this?
I'm sorry that you don't appreciate our blue humor. Gotcha, motherfucker!
And with that,
Gotcha again.
Jazz Jackrabbit.
It was great.
I give it 3 blue holes out of 5.
I give it a yum.
Well, I don't know what that means, but clearly I haven't played enough Jazz Jackrabbit.
Yum.
Anime was a mistake.
I don't
don't
care
care.
for it. I'll never play it again.
I dare you to Google blue hole.
Was
thanks,
safe
man.
search on or off?
I don't need.
Actually, you know what? Bing that.
I don't need a virus.
Don't do that on his network.
I've opened the laptop. We're going in.
Don't do that on his
We're going
network.
into the blue hole. Google blue hole, you get the dev studio.
Great.
And then you get a nice little thing about sinkholes. Case closed.
And then you get a bunch of things about a bunch of Sonics in a picture I can't show
Yeah.
you.
Oh, that's,
Oh
where,
shit!
Blue
this
Hole the
Sonic-
Hedgehog.
that's where you were going with that.
Gotta go fast.
Ooh.
Up in David.
I've been Steve.
I'm still Corey.
And have him, Brian.
You've been listening to Cattywampus. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at CattyWampusPod. Email us at cattywampuspodcast@gmail.com. Music by Tilly.